Greetings! Welcome back to Motivational Montage. And if you're new, welcome. So glad you could be here. We're gonna talk about trash today. We're gonna talk about garbage. We're gonna talk about unnecessary things that need to be thrown away. Um, Personal things. Remember, this is me. We're talking about my garbage, my trash, my things I need to throw away. Um, and I titled this one Pick It Up, Put It in the Bag, Bump, Bump. If you're an older viewer, you probably recognize that from a cartoon way back from, let's see, I put it in the blog here, 1956. Um, it's a song in the cartoon, ranger trying to get some bears to pick up some trash, and he explains the game. You pick it up, put it in the bag, bump, bump, and that's how the thing goes. And if you can look it up, it's called In the Bag. Um, it's a cute little video. It's cute, but it is a perfect representation of what I have to go through. Uh, um, yeah. What does this old school cartoon have to do with me? I just told you. It's a perfect representation of me and the trash I have to try to keep picking up. Um, Now, as usual, I don't try to read the whole blog. You're welcome. And then there's once or twice I will have to read the whole thing, but most of the time I just skip over it. And here I'm going to have to read a little bit, maybe a paragraph or two, but you'll be okay. Trust me. What does an old school cartoon have to do with me personally? Just ask that. Simple. I have been picking up trash in my life, all my life. And it seems when I'm just about finished, I look and find some of what I tossed away is still there. You missed the trash can kind of thing. Worse yet, I finally resolve a situation or know that the trash is cleaned up in my mind and in my life, and then someone else comes along and says or does something to cause whatever it was to be all up in my life again. Sometimes I even do that to myself. I resolve a situation and I'm going through life and somebody says or does something. Ploop, there's that situation back in my life. I go, wait, how'd that happen? Oh, because of this situation. Okay, well, whatever. Or I'm going along and I do something and ploop, there's this situation I threw away. It's back because I was not paying attention to the Holy Spirit, doing my own fleshly thing, and ploop, there it goes. Normal. By trash, I refer to things I know I shouldn't do, but do anyway. Things I do want to do, and yet find reasons not to do them. I refer to situations I've placed myself in that I truly don't fit into, and whatever it is rips me open and everything inside spills out. All the garbage, the garbage bag rips, kind of thing. I'm talking about things I've hidden deep inside that eventually get exposed suddenly and makes a huge mess. I'm not just talking sin here, folks. I'm also talking about ignorance, disrespect, fear, anger, and etc. and so forth, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm telling you, this is. Well, anytime anybody cleans up a room, they're always like, why do I gotta keep cleaning this up? Just gonna get dirty again. Well, it's part of that sanctification process. Part of that housekeeping process. You're not going to just say, well, I'm only going to do this once a month. Some things you only do once a month because, well, hey, that's about all it really takes. But there's some things you only do once a week because that's what it really only takes. But there's some things you do every single day because that's what it takes. And then there's some things you got to do more than once a day. Why? Because that's what it takes. This is life. This is normal. You know, you go into the kitchen, you make a sandwich, you clean up your mess. You get done eating your sandwich, you wash your dishes. Later on, you're hungry again, or it's dinner time. Now you got just, a bigger mess to clean up after it. I got all the plates to clean. This is life. This is normal. It goes on and on and on. So what happens if you go in, you make your sandwich, and you just leave your plate there? You leave the mess. You got crumbs and maybe some peanut butter on the counter, a knife, jelly jar, not even closed, just sitting there. A few hours later, you're hungry, and you go back. And you get yourself another knife. Or do you clean this knife off and use it again? This is kind of sloppy, in a manner of speaking. We do this with our own personalities. We do this a lot. I mentioned ignorance, disrespect, fear, anger. I could mention lust. I could mention greed. I could mention selfishness. I could mention tons of other things. I could mention... I could even mention some positive things that get trashy. Respect. I mentioned disrespect. Well, let's mention the opposite. Respect. I make the videos out of respect for God's kingdom because He wants me to stay accountable to me in my sanctification process so I can keep repenting when I need to. I can keep turning away from the flesh and go into the spirit when I need to. I can stop paying attention to me and the world and start paying attention to God when I need to. This sounds like an almost all the time thing. That's what I'm talking about. Every single second. We are cleaning up our life. That's what I'm getting at. It's not just that, once a week I'm going to go to church, and once a week I'm going to go to a Bible study, and every day I'm just going to read a little bit of the Word, maybe study it, a little bit. But that's only like an hour or two a day. That's fine. That's great. But that's part of it. Anybody who knows, anybody who understands, anybody who realizes when you're cleaning your house, things always get dirty. Always. You go in, you sit down in the living room with your family, you're going to watch a TV show. After you're done, an hour or two, whatever, you get up, you just go do your separate things for a minute. Or maybe you go into the kitchen because it's dinner time, or maybe it was dinner time. You went and you watched your shows. Now it's time to go clean up after dinner, You see what I'm saying? You took a break. You relaxed. You enjoyed life for a little bit, togetherness, fellowship, whatever. Now it's time to go back to cleaning up. This is an ongoing thing, but it has to be personal. It has to be something that is not just a delusion in our life. I'm going to go back to a blog that I just got done with reality versus fantasy. It's not a delusion. You gotta clean up after yourself. You're gonna have bugs. You're gonna have diseases. You're gonna get sick. Things are just gonna start stinking. Maybe It's normal to have to clean up in real life. You got a car. Some people they don't really keep their car clean. If you look in the back seat, you got some cups or an empty bag from a fast food place or a gum wrapper. Kids in the car are a good example of why this happens a lot. And it's more than just a few things, maybe some cookie crumbs or who knows what. But the thing is, this is a personal issue in our own lives that we have to deal with consistently, constantly, every single second. Not just weekly, not just monthly, like we might do in some of the normal cleanup things in our life, we got a desk at work, and there's a saying that says a clean desk is a sign of a sick mind. Well, let me tell you something. There's something true to that because it's a busy desk and he's got lots of things going on. But He's got to pick some of those up and put it in the bag. Bump, bump. He's got to get rid of a few things. Sometimes that means just finishing a project so we can move on to another, not just do several at once. Well, okay, maybe that's the way it has to be. But personally, he might be having some stress. I don't think I mentioned that. Stress is one of those things. We got to pick it up and put it in the bag. Bump, bump. Throw it away. Hate is another one. I don't think I mentioned hate. That's a good one. But you know what? I'm glad I don't have hate. I have nothing but love. I love to clean up my life because it's important. It proves to him I'm not just giving it lip service. I'm not just acting out a play. I'm living his abundant life he's given me. I love doing these videos because it improves me. Because, hey, like I said, every time I read the blog, make the videos, I'm getting something new. And I love you. And you can't do anything about it. That's why I'm making the videos. So you can see me for who I am. Maybe see something you need. Maybe even comment about something I need. Stay blessed, safe, healthy, and frosty. Until the next time we get together, you keep right on looking up.